hey there. Welcome to my arts and crafts closet. Would you like a tour? Actually, before I show you guys the inside of the closet, I want to talk you through how I set it up. So when we first got this apartment, I knew that I wanted to turn this into my arts and crafts closet. We had a built-in armoire in our last apartment that I was able to use for arts and crafts storage, and it was a game changer as opposed to having everything in like big plastic bins. We knew this room was going to be our office. We knew Eric's desk was going to be by the window and that mine was going to be over here. And so, like, what better space than to have all of my desks and art supplies? This closet was set up for hanging clothes, dresses, jackets, who knows. But we have a ton of hanging storage in this apartment. We're super fortunate, so I didn't feel bad about taking that away. And so I decided to go ahead and build in some easily removable, inexpensive shelving and to buy some cute bins in order to turn this into the craft closet of my dreams. So let's get started. So here's the vision. We're gonna create ledges and then just slot a piece of wood on top of the ledges to rest. I'll be able to take them out. We're not gonna paint them in or anything, but they should be able to create a pretty sturdy shelf without sort of having to have a bracket in the back that takes up a lot of your space. This is a great closet. It's actually 42 inches wide and 2 feet deep. All right, so here's the finished closet update. I didn't end up filming this because my dad was over here helping me, and also, I mean, it's just cutting wood and screwing it in. But to give a sense of how we did it, we decided how deep we wanted the shelves to be, obviously, and cut 2 side pieces for each side, measured the back of the shelves, cut a piece for that, and then found out where the studs were in the wall so we could screw each of these shelves, the studs, and then we just cut a piece of wood that we could basically rest on top of the shelves. Potentially you could also decide to screw the wood into the shelves below, but decided not to for now because it makes it easier to remove them. Also, you'll see that they are their natural wood color right now. And I don't know if I'm gonna paint them. Obviously the shelf that was already in the closet is white. These are wood, so I might take them out and paint them separately. But first things first, I'm just gonna put everything in and see how I feel. I kind of like the natural wood look, and I also don't feel like painting. But I'm thrilled to have done this because wow, I didn't realize how wide this closet was. And I'm gaining so much storage. It feels so much bigger not having those boxes just piled in there in the corner. Anyway, yeah, so I'm really excited about it. And you can see there was a clothes hanging rod here, and I just took that out so we can have the full shelf, and I'll just save the rod so that when we move out, I might ask the landlord if they want us to keep these shelves in, because I actually think that they're like kind of a nice value add to the space. But they might choose to not have them left in. And in that case, we'll just unscrew all of these, remove the shelves, remove the boards, patch the holes, and paint over them. And then I could just put the rod in. And it'll be as if there was never a shelf here before. And I'm excited. The cost of this project is essentially this piece of wood. This is, oh, I'm gonna forget the name of it right now, but it's like a very cheap wood. It's like a bunch of different kinds of wood combined. And then this is just scraps that my dad had in his shop. So actually these are pieces of this wood that we just cut off of the bigger piece to create these. And we also have a mix of scrap wood in here. So pretty inexpensive and gonna be a game changer. So the first thing I'm gonna do is unpack everything in here, put it away, get a sense of how it looks, decide if I wanna get new bins. I have lots of baskets and stuff like this. The day has arrived. I am thrilled. Got a big box in the mail by Hay Designs. Bins have arrived, which means we can finally put a bow on this craft closet project. I got the small size and the medium size. I got 6 of each. They shipped pretty quickly. I actually had like a few that shipped a bit later, but they didn't get here that much later. So all in all, I'm thrilled. These are obviously assembled, but they come like this. I kind of picked these because one, I thought they were cute. They also weren't terribly expensive in terms of buying a whole set of matching bins, which can really add up. But I also liked that if I wasn't going to use them for a period of time, I could fold them up and they take up virtually no space. So I could have them for a long time. They're kind of like a little bit of investment, but depending on the spaces that I'm in, I can use or store the ones that I don't need at that time. And they also stack, which seems nifty. So I'm gonna get all these out. I'm gonna unpack them and open them all up and get them into the closet. But first things first, let's do a quick tour of the closet, where it stands now, and kind of the steps that I've taken to get here. All right, this is the closet in its current state. So as you remember, I took everything out, I unpacked it, I purged everything, or everything I could. You wouldn't know that I got rid of anything by looking at this closet because of how jam-packed it is, but I really did get rid of a lot. And then I took the time to sort everything into categories and just place them where I wanted them to go on the shelves. This is something I always used to do when I was at home organizing. It's a much easier and more efficient way to buy bins and store things, as opposed to buying a bunch of bins and then kind of making what you have work with the bins that you've got. I really recommend going through everything that you have, figuring out how much of X you have, and then buying the bins to accommodate what you have, as opposed to accommodating what you have to the bins that you bought ahead of time. So that was what I was excited about, buying a new set of bins and kind of using this stuff that I have somewhere else, just to have something that feels customizable to the space. It's gonna be a bit of a fit to get everything in, and I might have to buy more bins. I used to overbuy and then return, but just because I was buying these online, I didn't want to do that. I figured I could buy more if I needed them, and I only have so much shelf space. So when doing this, I do recommend that you, like I said, place everything out, figure out how you want to group things, measure your space, see how big of a bin you can buy, and then if you can, buy bins that are a little bit bigger than you need. Because maybe you don't have a lot of sticky notes now, but you might later, and you kind of want your bins to be something that you can grow into and change with, as opposed to like buying a bin for like the stack of sticky notes that you had at that time and then it doesn't work for you later down the road. Yes, okay, so I'm going to unpack all these bins, open them up, and then I'm going to begin sort of slowly placing things here, and then it's just really kind of like a puzzle piece process to make everything fit together. Okay, we are all assembled. I will say the medium size is harder to set up than the small size. I think just like the plastic is a little thicker, and I am not 100% sure how easy these are going to be to take apart, but they're together for now. So I am going to just spend some time taking things out, putting them in bins, moving them around, and essentially making everything fit in the closet. Okay, what's gonna happen as you're going through this is you are gonna come across some things that, even though you've categorized them, maybe no longer make sense within their category or within how you're placing things in the bins as you move through the process. So set those things aside. For me, it's like the couple candle making wicks that I have, this floral wire that I, and this. It's like things that I use them for specific things, so that's probably where I'll end up putting them. Maybe you create a miscellaneous bin in the end. But don't let these sort of random outlier items throw you off. Just acknowledge them, set them to the side, and then come back to them at the end of the project, because you'll spend too long trying to fuss with them, and the fact is things might change by the time you're done. All right, so it's been a few hours. The lighting has clearly changed. Took a little bit of time, took a break, fussed with some stuff, moved it around a little bit, but I feel happy with where it ended up. So let me give you a tour. All right, here's the finished closet. So I ended up moving a few things up here, the tall bulky things and the stuff that I don't reach for very often. I am tempted to get another one of these bins for this, but this works for now. And this is the breakdown. I've got some tech stuff here. This is all glue and tape, so sticky stuff would be the category. Stamps, and I included my labeler in there because stamps and labels kind of go together. We have basic desk items here: paper clips, scissors, push pins, stapler, sticky notes. This is all my letters and stamps, pens and markers. This is my planning / scrapbooking box. So all of my little bits of accessories, stickers, washi tape, and then my big stickers are here at the bottom. And I just stuck my little stamp maker and my paper cutter in here because I use this a lot when I'm scrapbooking. This is my random bit, epoxy, gold leaf, that kind of stuff that I don't use very often. Just kind of goes into that category together. This category is like thread, sewing materials, fabric, sewing kit stuff. That is kind of the category. Rope sewing. This is all paint supplies in here. And then this category is just paperwork. I just have my papers stacked here. I haven't thought of a great solution for what to do with these yet, but they're honestly so easy to reach, and I would need to get a pretty big bin. So I'm keeping this here. I think these I'll move eventually. It's just folded up tissue paper for me to grab easily for presents. But I'm holding back on this. I've got my printer, my Alpha Smart, my photo printer. Down here I have tools, and I have my drop cloth, painting supplies, and then this is just my old organization bins that I had for more tool related stuff. I'm thinking I might rethink this area, but for now it's pretty accessible. All right, so that is my art closet. I am so glad I did this project. All in all, I mean, the actual building of the shelves, super inexpensive. The bins, that was a bit of an investment, under $100, which for buying a set of matching bins is actually a pretty good deal. But you could totally find a cheaper option at Marshall's, Home Goods, the dollar store. I just have had a vision for a long time about using this particular set of bins, so that's why I picked these. Don't let that be the thing that holds you back. There's tons of affordable options out there that are even cheaper than these ones. Don't go to the Container Store if you're looking for an affordable option. But yeah, I'm just so pleased with it. It's turned out exactly like I thought, even a little bit better. I feel already, prior to the bins and just having the shelves in and everything spaced out, have been coming in here way more to get stuff and to do crafts. Like the other day I just watercolored and it was so relaxing. So I'm super happy I did this. And the reality is I would not have used this closet otherwise. I just didn't have another need for a hanging clothes closet in my life. And this was a great solution. Obviously you could buy a unit and stick it in there, and that's another option too if you don't want to do building. But you know, if you have a closet that's just not serving your needs, I would recommend trying some inexpensive shelving, and then, you know, cute bins, because that takes it up to the next level where maybe now I'd even want to like keep this closet open even though I can close it because it brings me joy to look at it. One thing I'm not going to do is label my bins. If I was doing this for a client, if I was still a home organizer, I would label the bins because it helps the client remember the system. So there's no question about putting where things go when you put them back. You know, scissors go with scissors, pens go with pens, etc. For me personally, that's not something I need. And I have terrible handwriting, so bin labeling is a stressful thing for me. But it's something I need. But if you are new to organizing, new to kind of following the system of bins and making it like a rule, you put things away, I would recommend trying out labels. I also think that they do make it look nicer if you have good handwriting, or if you buy cute labels. They do make the final product look a lot more finished. It's just not something that I feel like doing right now. Anyway, I am wiped out. A lot of decision making, a lot of moving, but that was so fun. I'm so glad I did it. I hope you tackle a messy closet. I hope you make a space in your life more functional. And I hope you create a little bit of magic and creativity in your day today. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.